What we see here is an example of how good scouting and information management can allow the Overmind agent to react to what the enemy is doing. So this is a replay of a match between the Overmind agent playing Zerg against Skynet, which is another AI agent playing Protoss. These are the orange dots on the mini-map. Protoss forces. The brown dots are the Overmind Zerg forces. Now, if I come over here, what you see is a Zerg Overlord. So what an Overlord is it's a slow aerial unit with good sight range that we use for scouting. The other use of the Overlord is that it provides supply. Supply is a metric that limits how many units you can build in the game. So if you lose too many Overlords, you can't build as many units. The important thing is that as our Overlord comes in, it's scouted out that Skynet is building a Stargate. Stargate is a Protoss building that builds air units. What happens now is that when I go back to the Overmind's base, it's immediately started production on an evolution chamber and a creep colony. What these allow it to do is to turn the creep colony into a spore colony, which is an anti-aircraft defensive turret, essentially. So if I hop back to the Protoss base, we'll notice that it's building a Corsair. A Corsair is a fast anti-air unit that in this case would be used for hunting down Zerg Overlords. But an interesting thing to note is if I turn off shared vision, we see that what the Protoss player can see of the map is actually fairly limited. So the orange dots are where its units are, and the slightly lighter areas around the orange dots are the limits of its vision. So you can see the rest of the map is obscured except for where it has units. Because of this, it doesn't actually know where the Overmind's Overlords are, and so it has to send the Corsair to the Overmind agent's base in order to try and find targets to attack. I want to turn back shared vision so we can see what's going on. And so you can see the Corsair approaching, looking for the base where it knows the Overlords are produced, and as it comes in, the spore colony successfully drives it off. It keeps coming back because it doesn't know where else to look for targets. The other thing to note is that once the Overmind has seen the enemy Corsair, it starts withdrawing its Overlords to the protection of the spore colony, thereby negating the Protoss player's hunting strategy. So this is in a case where, because it was able to scout out the Stargate early, it was able to prepare for the Protoss player's actions and successfully protect its Overlords. And you notice as the Overlords come in, they come in from below, away from the enemy Corsair. This is due to the threat-aware path planning.